Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Camson the Oracle, and I am doing a collective reading because after 2 weeks of heavy dream work, subconscious dumping, I've been getting a lot of upgrades, and I've also been having some static coming from some of the free platforms that I've been using to share the gems that I received to give clarity and guidance for those who are going through the spiritual awakening. This hardly ever happens. It's rare that this happens this way, but after the dream work I did last night using my pendulum, my crystals, and clearing myself out with a black candle before sleep, it's been very effective, and I'm considering doing a masterclass to teach you all how I enter into the dream realm so that I'm actually getting something accomplished that is going to be beneficial for me. So I have a few minutes and I want to pull a few cards. And the question that has been put on my heart is, where should I be investing my time, energy, and focus? And I implore upon you to open your hearts to receive whatever message is for you. To not receive anything that is not for you, that's okay too. I'm simply the messenger and the medium for today. Before I begin, I would also like to say very soon we're going to have a podcast where we will be discussing energy vampires and ways that we become energy vampires even ourselves. Oftentimes it's so easy to only see the people outside of you that drain your energy and not see the ways that you allow your energy to be drained, and not see the ways that you allow your energy to leak. So yes, this is what you voted for on the poll in the community tab. So yes, go there. If you haven't voted, you still have time. Go and vote. We're going to do the podcast, but that is definitely number one right now. It could change, but it seems as that is number one right now. So we're going to pull some cards on this because I feel a lot of us are going through another rebirth process, another cycle of the phoenix rising from the ashes. And when you're in this phase, and it's really not a handbook, it's not one handbook teaching you how to be the best version of you. And it can be really overwhelming, scattered, and sometimes we're doing too much. We're trying to do too many things out of a place of feeling the absence of what we feel we should have. And this is the heart coming online. This is the heart saying, look, you haven't been listening to me. You listen to your head 24/7. And some of the stuff that's in your head, it's just a program. It's just a recording. It is something that you think over and over again, and it's not benefiting you, right? But if you get into your heart space, there you will find more serenity, more clarity. You will know what you want and don't want. So as we are in the bifurcation of the two earths, you may be experiencing 3D experiences inside of your emotional body, your pain body, and your mental self. And you may have these bursts of 5D experiences where you feel extremely aligned with your highest purpose. You feel aligned with nature. You feel this oneness. You feel extraordinary. You see the growth and the transformation that has happened in your life. So this is that space. And it seems the two earth symbology is being embodied within our bodies. And it can be confusing if this is new for you. This could be very confusing what's happening here. There's a lot of shifts happening. So we're going to get started. I'm going to pull some cards and let's just see what Spirit is saying. What is the most beneficial place for our energy, our time, our focus, for the sake of emotional healing? Because a lot of us are empaths and didn't know, We absorb trauma throughout our whole lives, even while we were in our mother's wombs. The emotional body. Calcite. Relaxation. That beautiful color, relaxation. This is your superpower right here. Relaxation. Relaxation. Relaxation connects you to spirit. Some of us have difficulty relaxing because our mind is running so fast. The energy on the planet is compelling us to change. It's compelling us to let go of some things we've been holding on to because it's hurting us. The universe has been compelling us to embrace new mindsets and actually spend time nurturing those mindsets. For this card, use the meditations that we've been sharing in our community if you haven't tried them, to help you to relax. I know that you're like, that's easier said than done because my mind is running at the speed of light. It may be easier said than done. However, if you begin saying, it doesn't matter how easy or difficult it is, it's possible. I can do this. If meditation is part of your daily routine, continue doing that. It builds up over time. It's like investing into an account. And over time, each deposit builds up the interest. It builds up the portfolio, right? It builds up, and you will have more. You must be patient. Practice relaxation, slow breathing, breathing from the stomach, okay? Breathing deeply. For those of us who have experienced trauma, oftentimes we don't breathe deeply. We breathe from our chest. It's shallow when we get triggered, upset. I know for me, as being an intuitive empath, if someone is yelling around me, screaming, cussing around me, like not the way I be cussing. Y'all know I love to cuss. I have a therapeutic cussing. It's a very specific kind of energy healing that happens there. But the kind of cussing where, and yelling where it's aggression and it's anger and it's rage and it's hatred and it just blows out my nervous system. This is something I had to accept. So I retreat. I retreat when I need to. I will be teaching about the 4 R's very soon as well. But I retreat so that I can relax. Relaxing helps me to revitalize myself. And once I've done that, I'm able to move from a space of being centered and anchored and grounded. And if I'm still around that type of energy, once I'm done doing that, I'm more able to see the spiritual implications of what's happening. And I'm also able to see how much I've changed because that used to be me. All right. So relaxation. All right. This is the key. Breath, breath, breath. I need you to remember breath, breath. The most precious thing. Some of us look at other people and it seems like other people are experiencing the life that we want to experience, we want to have. And I just want to implore upon you that if you have breath, fuck all of the stuff that you don't got. If you got breath, you have access to everything. everything that your heart is calling for. Thank you. I give thanks. All right. So for those of you who are wondering what's going on with my relationships with other people, maybe you're beginning to see that all relationships outside of you have some type of anchor inside of you, right? It's something inside of you that has attracted these people into your life. And sometimes that subconscious magnet that attracts experiences into our life that are uncomfortable, it can be difficult to really be able to harness the lessons in that, because we get busy criticizing ourselves and being like, I keep attracting this kind of person. Why do I continue to attract people who are emotionally unavailable, unstable? Like, I'm sick of this. Why do I attract people who ask me for money but never offer me any? Why do I attract people into my life who throw all of their work on me? Maybe I have coworkers who try to get me to finish their work, or they not coming in and they want me to be the ones to take over. Why does this happen to me? I've been married 2 times and seem like I keep marrying the same person. It's just in a different package. Like, what the fuck is going on? I even jump races. I jump genders. Like, I'm doing everything I know to do, and I keep attracting these things. What is this? And oftentimes it's so painful for us still, because it's a sore wound that salt has been thrown into each time we have betrayed our own selves, didn't listen to our heart, not intuition. So I'm going to go into that for you. Did y'all see the movement of how that card shifted out of my hands? This is black obsidian. This represents the shadow. Black obsidian is the crystal that I have been using to integrate with my shadow self, and also for the dream work that I've been doing. This is made up of a volcanic glass created by a volcano. Now, if you are going through a phoenix rising from the ashes stage, it just makes sense to work with something created by a volcano. A lot of us are walking through the fire. We're feeling the winds of transformation and the waves of change. And this crystal, oh my goodness, this crystal, it has been so helpful for me to see the shadow. The shadow for many of us is that we have been attracting people who had similar traumas as we did, and we became enmeshed with those people in their trauma. This is how we relate. Each conversation is with each other's about each other's trauma and pain, and there's nothing wrong with that. As long as it's a balanced conversation, and that conversation doesn't end in venting about trauma, but it ends on a positive note or something to be grateful for or appreciated. However, many of us, that's not what we're experiencing. And so once you heal and work through your own trauma and some of the core wounds from your childhood, you lose the connection with certain people, and you love them. Your love hasn't changed, but your connection has changed, because the way that you connect with your own self is changing. Black obsidian, the shadow, the people in your life that trigger you are simply being used to divert your attention to go within. It's not personal, it's spiritual. And I know that it feels personal at times, but create a mantra around it. This trigger is not showing up to hurt me, harm me, or destroy me. It's not personal, it's spiritual. It's not personal, it's spiritual. Can I have compassion for myself? Kuan Yin, this is why I have her here. She told me she wanted to be a huge part of this 2023 Gregorian year. I was like, okay. Kuan Yin, compassion. Can you practice having compassion while triggered? Of course you can. You just need to get started. When you infuse compassion into a triggering moment, many of the things that your heart has been communicating with you that you have been unable to hear becomes clear. And the trigger teaches you something about yourself. Every single course and every chakra camp, meditation, healing ceremony, ritual that has been created came from that space of me infusing compassion into the things that broke my heart, to the things that I did not have a grasp as to the gift that it was giving me. Everything that happens in our life, including the problems, are portals for us to experience a higher potential. Nothing less, nothing more. Your shadow wants you to acknowledge all that you have been through, all that you are, how powerful you are, and you don't have to be perfect all the time. What if you practice letting go more? What if when triggered, you let go of the old things that you used to protect yourself, like arguing back, saying something smart back, letting the ego just fly some shit out of your mouth that later you know is not a reflection of who you are cultivating yourself to be. I mean, even if you did that, it's a lesson in that too. Your superpowers, the spiritual abilities, they are resting in the shadow. Every mythology and movie we've seen about going into dark places, caves, and shadows to find treasures was representing what's inside of us within the shadow part of ourselves. But because of the toxic positivity and the love and light and the high vibes only thing going on, and some people only show the parts of their life that reflect the light parts of their life, right? Because of that, a lot of us just feel very insecure when our shadow self comes out. Not realizing that the shadow self is a gift. It is the space that holds the treasure of who you are. Superpowers rest in the shadow. So how about you bring some creative expression into your shadow self? You know, if writing is something that resonates with you, or maybe it don't, maybe you should try something new and see what happened. Maybe it will benefit you. I wouldn't say should. I'm leaning away from certain words, but maybe it will benefit you to try something new. How about you let your shadow self talk? Because repressing the shadow self and not allowing the shadow observations, right, to take form, when you write them down, you're allowing them to shift from your headspace, and you're allowing them to be a part of your reality by writing it down. Okay? Now, if you want to work with this volcanic glass, the black obsidian, we have those in the store. That's resonating with you. Go and grab you one of those. It's time for you to do some deeper work into the parts of you that were repressed, hidden, and you were told were bad, and the world should not ever see these parts of you. You should always keep a cap on this part of yourself. Because I'm going to tell you, baby, when the hardest times in life show up in my life, it is the shadow self that helps me through. It is the shadow self that gives me strength. Now, we have our courses. We are on the Spaces app for the courses through Wix at newverselive.com. Head over there and check out the course to exit the 3D matrix. I told y'all about the dream that I had about this. And I created the course by going by the information that you all have given us and the dream combined with what I'm feeling from the collective. The 3D Matrix exit course is there, and I'll walk you through everything we've discussed. We also have the camps available. Everything is on sale because right now, as the earth is continuing to split. I know y'all feeling it. I know that there are some people who are part of your reality, places and things that are no longer not in your reality or as much as they used to be. Or maybe the way you feel about those things, and this includes careers, jobs, businesses, is shifting. That course is there to guide you, but you must do the work. You must walk yourself through the work each and every day to create new subconscious programs. And as a spiritualist, I combine personal development with the plethora of things nature has given us to assist us. Herbs, spices, crystals, breath work, journaling prompts, meditation, so many things. And it's a little humor in there too. We need a little funny, to get us through. It's unrealistic. Why do you think the enlightened Buddha is laughing? It's unrealistic to go through life, through these awakenings, and not infuse some comedy. I mean, you must admit, we happen to be a pretty eclectic group. And we are beautiful, just as we are. So, check that out. I am excited to see you there. There have been some changes since the Mercury retrograde. So the site is also going through its own upgrades. But I will be doing more of these readings because my guides have instructed me to do so. And a lot of y'all are showing up in my dreams. Okay, so tap in, because the power that you receive from a soul tribe, and I have a blog about what that means, as some of the cords are cut between you and blood relatives, friends, and people you were once close to. Your soul tribe are people who have a similar background and experience, but are desiring to master themselves and become the better version of themselves, your I divine self, no longer just living in the identity avatar the 3D Matrix gave a lot of us. A lot of us are not who we thought we were. And as you are rediscovering who you are and what your heart desires, and not just listening to the logical mind, but allowing the feminine essence within you to show you how to create a life that is nurturing for you. I will do more of these. And because of what I expressed in the beginning, we did show some of the strikes we've been getting. Haven't been able to post the monetization. So I want to give a huge thank you to those of you who are donating on Patreon. The $1 a month tier on Patreon has a whole archive of so many things that we have been doing together throughout the last few years. And I'm updating that week by week. So that's there. So those 3 main platforms are there for you to get information from your soul tribe, from the collective, from your galactic tribe, right? This is not just terrestrial. This is so much bigger than that. So all of that is there for you. All links will be below in the description. Take your time. You deserve some kindness to be given to your own self, not expecting it from anyone else, because you are more than capable to love yourself in ways that maybe you never thought you could love yourself before. New me stay. Royalty in disguise. Put your fist up in the skies. Royalty in disguise. Put your fist up in the skies. Don't even trip.